Hello everyone, time for another tag. This tag is going to be a tag you're either going to really enjoy my answers or you're really going to hate me. I don't know, let's do it. So this tag is the Anti Tbr Tag, which is just weird because I've talked about recently I'm getting rid of TBRs and stuff altogether. That's not what it's about. It's basically books that you're never going to read. Let's talk about them. Let's do it. So there's questions. I've got answers. You'll probably hate me. Let's get into it. Question number one, a popular book everyone loves that you have no interest in reading. I don't know. I mean, honestly, there's always a new Cassandra Clare release, and I've quit that series. The whole Mortal Instruments, Clockwork Angel, just the Shadowhunter series in general. I've quit it because I've just grown uninterested in them, and everyone gets really excited for their release, and I'm to the point now where I'm like, I don't know. I just don't read them anymore. I'm so glad if you read them and if you love them and you get excited about the releases, that's great. I just unfortunately don't anymore, and that's okay. Your preferences change as a reader. You know, every year they change. Mine do at least, but other than that, popular books that have come out recently that I have just no interest in reading. I can't think of one. Maybe I'll think of it when I film this. Question number two, a classic book or author you don't have interest in reading. Okay, so classics are a very interesting thing to talk about. You have a lot of booktubers that really love classics, a lot of Jane Austen, Daphne du Maurier, Fitzgerald, there's so many classic authors, it's insane. I think for a long time I was really upset with myself because I did not like classics. I tried to read classics, couldn't get into them, and I'm like, I'm not a real reader if I don't like classics. That's not true. So honestly, I wouldn't say I don't have a desire to read any classics, but I did read a classic last year, Little Woman, and really loved it, but I don't foresee myself reading a lot of Jane Austen books. I just don't think they're for me. One series I do think I could probably read and enjoy would be Anne of Green Gables. I don't know why. It just kind of reminds me in a way of Little Woman. Maybe that's why. But I don't know. I don't see myself reading like Jane Austen or like Rebecca or Jane Eyre, things like that. I don't know why. I'm just not like super interested in them. Maybe one day I'll wake up and be like, I want to read all the classics. If so, I will proceed that. But right now, like, I'm good. I'm good without them, honestly. Like, I know they paved the way, and I'm so glad they did. And there's a lot of readers that still enjoy them, and I think that's awesome. I'm not at that point yet, and I don't know if I'll ever be at that point. A problematic author whose books you have no interest in reading. Oh, I feel like there's a lot of different problematic authors. I can't think of one off the bat that I have like no interest in reading. I know J. Kristoff was I don't know. See, that's the thing. I'm not on Twitter now, so I don't know, which is probably not the best thing. I can't think of one. I think J. Kristoff was a problematic author, if I'm not mistaken. A lot of his Nevernight stuff, which I have no interest in reading Nevernight, so there you go. Okay, question number four. An author you have read a couple books from and have decided their books are not for you. I got a lot for this one. Number one, Colleen Hoover. I think I've read 3 or 4 of her books, and there's a lot of people that love Colleen Hoover, and especially back in the day, like, it was a big thing about Colleen Hoover books, and quite frankly, I didn't really love it. I don't know. I don't love her books. A lot of her relationships in her books are just kind of, they're too intense. Sometimes they're problematic. I don't know. So that's an author I have no desire reading more from, not because she's problematic or anything, just because I don't enjoy her books, honestly. And I know a lot of you guys love Colleen Hoover, and I'm happy for you. Keep reading her books. You do you. I think that's awesome. Another one, you're going to hate me. John Green. What have I read? I've read Paper Towns. Didn't like it. I've read Fault in the Stars. It was okay. I've read Looking for Alaska. Didn't like it. So I've read like 3 of his books. I don't get the hype. I just really don't. But if you get it, and if you like him, and if you get it, you like his books, I think that's awesome. Again, as I say, you do you. That just means that. And also Cassandra Clare. I've read a lot of her books. I've read the whole Mortal Instruments series. I've read the Infernal Devices series, and I read the first 2 books in her, was it Lady Midnight? Those 2 books. I didn't even read the last book in that, but I think it's just I've grown out of that world. I'm just not invested in it anymore. So those are some authors that, like, I don't know. Another one, oh, this is going to be hard to say. Is this a series too? I was just thinking about this because I just saw like a thing that the book's coming out soon. Mr. Impossible by Maggie Stiefvater. She wrote The Raven Cycle, which I love. It's one of my favorite series. So she's written kind of a spin-off of that where it focuses on Ronan. Last year it was called, what was it called? Maybe it was a year ago. Call of the Hawk, maybe. I didn't really like it, honestly. Like, it was okay. And I just didn't like it to the point where I don't think I'm going to finish the series and I don't feel bad about it. I don't know. Am I the only one that feels that way? Like, I just don't think it was anything near the Raven Cycle. I don't know. I don't want to like offend or like hurt anybody. I don't want to offend or like make anybody upset with my opinions on different books. If you like this book, if you like certain books, I think you're awesome. You go for it. A genre you have no interest or a genre you tried to get into but couldn't. The longest time I would say horror for this because I'm the biggest chicken, but last year I read like 3 horror books and really enjoyed them. So my answer would be some horror, like Stephen King type of horror. I probably can't do like It, Pet Sematary, The Shining. I haven't seen any of the movies. Don't ever plan to. I can't even watch scary movies. So I'm not going to read the books. Like, there are some horror that I can handle. I read a Grady Hendrix book last year that was a horror. I read Mexican Gothic, which was a horror last year. I forgot the other one too. But there are some horror. If it's like light horror where I can manage it, I will read. But for probably like really deep, intense, really scary horror, nope, I can't do it. Another genre is manga. Is that it? I can never get into it, honestly. That's more my brother's thing, which is awesome. That's great. I just couldn't get into it, honestly. A book you have bought but will never read. This can be a book you've unhauled, returned to the library, unread. Oh gosh, a book that I've bought that I'll never read. There's a lot of Harry Potter type of books, like the Film Wizardry, the Creature Vault. I have them. Will I read them through all the way? Probably not. I can't think of any other ones. Like on my TBR shelf, if I bought a book, I'm going to really try to read it because I bought it. I don't have an answer for this one. I really don't. I'm horrible. A series you have no interest in reading or a series you started and DNF'd. We already talked about this. I guess I technically DNF'd what is it called? The Lady Midnight series. Is that Chain of Gold? I guess I DNF'd it. There's not a lot of other series. I usually am pretty good about seeing a series through. I can't think. Oh, I did start the Wicked Saint series by Emily Duncan. Haven't read the sequel. Don't know if I will. I don't know. A new release you have no interest in reading. Let's look it up. Let's look up some April releases. Why not, shall we? And I'll tell you that if I'm not going to read or not. I'm just doing April because that's the month we're in. Oh, there's one. Blessed Monsters by Emily Duncan. The 3rd and final book. Probably not gonna read it. Oh, here's one. It's a middle grade one. Don't read a ton of middle grade at all, so I can tell you it's gonna be a new release that I will not read. And that is Arusha and the City of Gold by Roshana Chachki. I've heard amazing things about this series. It's middle grade. I just don't read middle grade, so there's a new release that I'm not gonna read. There's that. I don't know. You probably hate me after this freaking tag, which though I would understand. Be rest assured, we all have different taste in books, shows, movies, TV shows, you name it. Everyone's got different tastes. So in case I name some books that I'm just like not interested in, no thank you, and you're like, that's my favorite book, how could she? Please don't, you keep on loving those books. That's great. That's awesome. I'm glad you enjoy them. I'm honestly, truly happy you enjoy them. I just don't, and that's okay. So either way, hope you enjoyed watching. I'm sure I'll get a lot of interesting comments. Thanks for watching. Bye.